Maybe let me turn on my camera. I'm not that handsome, but maybe it's better. So I'm today hosting this meeting because Orlin, who is the person that normally takes care of this, he couldn't make it. And actually, I don't think if the next one he'll be able to do it too, because I think it was on PTO. But anyway, so let me just share. Wait a second, where is the meetup? I don't know if you had an agenda. Yeah, we do. So let me paste the link to the HackMD. So if it's okay for you, then you can. That's it. I pasted it in the chat. You can paste your name there. I'm gonna write mine. A second, I need to sign in. Right. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna write my name over there. I'm not that familiar with this, so. Ah. All right. Okay. I don't know if you can talk, but if I'll be alert on the chat. So if you have something to say, I'll try to be there. Let me share my screen, maybe, and I can show you what Orling wanted to show, which is basically what we are working on. Can you see my screen?
Yep, can see your screen. All good.
Perfect. Thanks. So I think the most important thing is the governance. Yeah, so we didn't have a document where we were specifying the governance for the project, and that is bad. So Orling was kind enough to start this effort, and he now pushed the PR. So if you had some time, it would be great if you could review it, basically to verify that, yeah, this is the correct governance, and that it will, especially, I think the most important thing is that it is inclusive. Like anyone who would like to become a maintainer in K3s can do it and knows how to do it. Having more maintainers in K3s, I think, will be super cool because there's a lot of work to do. And the other thing important PR is the roadmap. I am preparing a small roadmap myself together with our product manager that can help me with this. Especially, my idea would be to add more first good issues so that people that is initially starting with K3s and would like to become a maintainer, they have like a low-hanging fruit type of PRs and issues and feature requests that we can that they can pick up and start, climbing the ladder to become a maintainer. Yeah, I think we agree with Oling in the last meeting that we would like to sort of make a survey for everyone to participate on what features they would like to see in our in the K3s roadmap. So, thanks, Alex, for pasting the links. That's great. Yeah, especially governance is the important one. Right now we are on K3s, I think. If I don't know if we described this, probably we should. So 1 week before Kubernetes Upstream releases the minor, well, the patch version, we code freeze all our branches except for master, or I don't know if it's master or main right now. Yeah, so our test guys can start testing everything, and then when Kubernetes Upstream releases the next patch version, then we can consume it quickly, and then run some extra tests and then release. So right now we're at code freeze, and yeah. What else? Let me check. Let me check the roadmap. Sorry, not the roadmap. The agenda. CLO monitor standing issues. Let me paste that link here. Okay. Yeah. So one of the goals that we are targeting for this year is incubating K3s. If you're familiar with CNC projects, they can be in sandbox, incubation, and graduation. We are right now with K3s in sandbox, and we would like to move it to incubation for different reasons. And if I guess the CLO monitor is tracking what's missing. Yeah, so governance is missing, but we have a PR up there for review. Again, if you have time, that would be great. I already mentioned the Artifact Hub batch, but I don't remember now, but we are not using this, if I remember correctly. And there were, yeah, especially in security, we had some stuff missing that we need to improve. In the previous meeting, like last week, so last week it was only for US. Well, it was in the US friendly time zone. I think there were 2 people that volunteer for checking into these. If you are also interested in helping out, that'd be great. I can connect you with people that were looking into this. And hopefully, once we have all these checked, we can reapply for incubation, and hopefully we'll make it. Then the other topic that Orling wanted to talk about is KubeCon. I don't know if you guys applied for a talk. For KubeCon America in Atlanta. I think it's in November. We will get notifications in July, and yeah, so we cannot get a kiosk, if I understood correctly, or a booth because we are not in incubation yet. So that's one of the reasons why moving K3s into incubation will be great, because then we will get more presence in KubeCon, and yeah, hopefully free tickets to join KubeCon. Yeah. So right now it's hard. This time I didn't apply for any talk on KubeCon. To be honest, I don't know if you did. You guys submit any talk?
Not submitting any talk, no. The remaining KubeCons for the year are a bit far or inaccessible, so
Yeah.
next KubeCon's gonna be Europe for me again.
Is it in Amsterdam then next year?
Yes, next year Amsterdam, and then after that I think it's Barcelona in Spain.
Oh, that's close to where I live. I didn't know they announced like 2 years already. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully in Amsterdam we'll get something, and I don't know, a booth or something, because we'll be already in incubating state. Yeah, I didn't apply for any. I applied for this year in Europe. I don't remember now where was it, but yeah, I got rejected. I had 2. Both got rejected, unfortunately. It's difficult. And the other one, let me check.
Sorry to interrupt, but
No,
also
no.
I think if K3s, when it becomes like a recognized incubating project, I think then everyone who's on the maintainers list, if they submit a talk for K3s, it will be automatically approved, I believe, which is
Ah,
rather cool, I think.
okay. With a free ticket to enter KubeCon, do you know?
Possibly. I think by default, if you become a speaker, you do get the free ticket. Except lightning talks, because
Exactly.
if it's a lightning talk, you don't get the free ticket.
For the previous KubeCon, the one this year in Europe, I applied several things. One was a lightning talk about K3s. It got accepted, but then they sent me an email saying, "Sorry, you don't get the ticket." And I was like, "Oh no." then the case was difficult to yeah. I needed a sponsor. That didn't work out, so couldn't go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I want to go to KubeCon, so we need to make this happen. Yeah.
So I take it you're from Europe already.
I'm based in Spain.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Low airfare to all the KubeCons in Europe, at
Mm.
least that.
Did you attend all of them?
Uh, no, actually, I'm from Mauritius, and so I attended Europe last year and Europe this year.
Okay, that's cool. What I understood is that there is not a lot of presence of K3s, not in the talks, or there's no booth with K3s, so it's a
Yeah,
pity.
yeah. Because K3s is a nice project.
Uh, yeah, I think it is. What can I say? I am a maintainer.
Well, yeah, of course. Can't say otherwise.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking maybe something which might be worth considering for the K3s project. At KubeCon, there was Contrib Fest, which were sessions, maybe an hour or two long, which basically introduced people to the project and then also introduced them to, well, here's like the code of conduct, or here's what you could help contribute. So I remember Helm had a Contrib Fest. I believe Robert from SUSE, he was there. And so basically, I think that might be a good opportunity for maybe attracting more people and maybe saying, hey, K3s is a CNCF project, but we are not, it shouldn't be terrifying to contribute to CNCF, basically.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let me write it down because I'm not familiar with these things. Orling is. I don't know where. Probably here. K3s in Contrib Fest. Is it written like that?
Yeah, more or less. So Contrib Fest, you would have that at KubeCon itself. So I'm sure, like, if anyone from the maintainers list is going to KubeCon, maybe it might be worth shooting for a Contrib Fest for K3s. Maybe I don't know if it might be something worthwhile to try having a sort of Contrib Fest online. So people across the world, even not at KubeCon, could say, "Hey, K3s is cool. How can I get involved?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might be cool. Whenever we have like a bigger list of good first issues or
Yeah,
features,
totally.
might be more advanced developers. Um, we can even discuss them, and people can volunteer there. Yeah, I created one yesterday. Let's see if people pick it up because I noticed that. So there is when you deploy K3s with MySQL as your data store,
Mhm.
of course you cannot create an HA cluster. But in the documentation, I didn't know about it. there is a migration path to etcd, and we are not testing that. We don't have any test, and we noticed, I think in April, that it was not working, and it probably was broken for several releases. And because we didn't have any tests, well, we didn't know. So I created an issue. Just maybe somebody wants to pick it up, about
Yeah,
creating
I'll
a
have a
test.
look. Yeah, I found your issue.
Okay. Have you ever, Alex or Julian, have you ever contributed to K3s?
Not contributed through code, no.
Okay.
The one CNCF project I've contributed to through code is Longhorn. I
Mm.
was quite proud of that. But for K3s, sometimes I go to the issues and I see if someone has an issue, I might be able to give some troubleshooting help there.
Okay.
That's the extent of my contribution.
No, that's fine. The reason why I ask is I'm not sure how easy or hard it is for somebody new to contribute to K3s. Like yesterday, when I created this issue, I talked to Orlin, and then he told me, do we have any sort of documentation for people, for newcomers to know how to create a test? And I was like, oh, that's a good point. Probably we don't. Julian says, I'm a new user, just in my lab. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know how hard for somebody new it is to contribute. I don't know how scary we are as reviewers. Maybe people, they're scared of us. I don't know. That's something we need
If
to.
you
Yeah.
don't mind, I have a small opinion on that. When I go to K3s, the repo, I see all these folders: CMD, conformance, contrib, docs, hack, etc., scripts, test, all of these. And as someone who hasn't been involved, obviously, with K3s from the start, it's crazy sort of to see all these folders, all these files, and not know if I want to contribute in this specific part of K3s, which folder am I even going to start looking through?
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, you see, these kind of things. Of course, I've been here for years, so I never.
Yes,
never think.
you've been involved for so long, you know the code base like the back of your hand.
Yeah, not so. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Okay, that's a good feedback. So you mean I don't know if you can you still see my screen, guys?
Yes, yes.
You mean all this, yeah, directories and all this file, right?
Mm. So maybe knowing what's where would make it a lot easier for someone who's new to, maybe just make a small patch here or there.
Yeah. Possibly in the docs, we should have something helping. We don't have it. I remember seeing another CNCF project that in the documentation had a very comprehensive guide on, yeah, you are a new user or developer, where to start, and describing how tests work, how, yeah, the development cycle works. I don't think we have anything like that. Yeah, what's where, because this reference is something different. Yeah. Okay, that's a good point.
If you
Thanks,
don't mind, I'll
Alex.
add that. I'll add that to the HackMD. Maybe
Go ahead.
something about the docs.
Go ahead, please. Thanks. Yeah, let me add something if you don't mind either. Like guide to develop test development as well. All right. I don't think, yeah, there's nothing else in the agenda. Do you guys have anything else? Any question? Any suggestion? For example, did you know that we have K3s? There is a K3s
Oh, no.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
Yes,
didn't know about that.
that also we should add. Development cycle.
Mm,
Julian asks, did the vendors contribute back to K3s? Unfortunately, by vendors, Julian, I don't know. I haven't heard anyone saying, "Hey, we are using K3s in production, and we found this error, and here is the fix." Maybe, I mean, there are people sometimes coming with fixes. It's rare. Mostly, people are coming with issues on, yeah, there's a problem here, and then we fix it. We the maintainers group. Sometimes they're coming with PRs to fix stuff, but it seems always like they're just, yeah, like a external contributor that is working on K3s as a hobby or at home or in his lab. I've never heard someone saying, "Hey, I'm coming with from this. I'm working for this company, and we are using K3s internally, and we want to fix this." No, I haven't.
we do actually use K3s where I work,
Okay.
but it's mainly just me working on the Kubernetes side of things. It's reached the point where I've got maybe 8 VMs just to test different K3s related stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, well, that's great. Yeah, if you, and of course, if you are alone, it's impossible for to contribute. Yeah, well, that's great. Are you happy, Alex, so far with K3s?
Oh, I'm loving K3s. Well, actually, we use the whole call it the SUSE stack. Like we've got some RK2, some K3s, some Longhorn.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm enjoying the experience, especially with K3s. I mean, I started K3s in my home lab, like most people do.
Okay, awesome. If you have suggestions on new stuff and so on, that'll be great.
Mhm.
Well, I already mentioned that we actually don't know how to do it. Like, we would like to ask the community of K3s to tell us what features they would like to see and so on. And we didn't know how to do it. One idea is we could go to the Slack channel to, is it called Rancher users, I think, and ask there. That might be, I don't know, but
Yeah,
a
I guess.
technical way to track, or we create an issue in the K3s and ask people
Mhm.
to write in the comments of the issue features they would like to see, something, for example, or we create a survey. I don't know if you guys have a suggestion.
I think it becomes complicated because what you're basically saying is like the roadmap for K3s and what K3s should turn into in the future. And I think it's a very complicated um, study to do because at the same time, K3s needs to stay compliant with base Kubernetes, and you can't deviate too much to being completely incompatible in some ways.
Yeah.
So the balance is a bit tricky to have, I think.
Yeah, in the end, K3s philosophy by design is that it stays, yeah, conformant with Kubernetes and as lightweight as possible. We cannot create a
Mhm.
lot of features if they are going to increase the size of the binary by a lot, for example. That
Ah,
will be
yes, yes.
against, yeah, the philosophy, right? But I don't know, there might be some extra stuff that still aligns well. Julian is suggesting collect current use cases around the users if there is not, of course. Yeah, that will be also cool. It's hard for us to understand what use cases do people have with K3s. Sometimes some people paste or describe, share with the rest of the community what they do with K3s. Um, But I would say when they share it is because the case is super weird and super cool. But the production cases, which might be a bit more boring, let's say, nobody's sharing them. Yeah, maybe we should do something to stimulate people to share how they use K3s, and that could give us extra knowledge into gaps, missing features, and so on. Yeah, small footprint Kubernetes clusters, exactly. Like this week, no, last week I read of a Kubernetes distribution that claimed that K3s couldn't run on a Raspberry Pi of only 500 megs. I think there is a Raspberry Pi Zero that has 500 megs of memory.
Yeah.
That person claimed that K3s couldn't do it. I think it can. The reason why he claimed that is because he was contributing to another project, to another lightweight Kubernetes, and he said that
Let me guess.
his lightweight
Oh,
Kubernetes was able to do it. But I'm sure K3s could run in 512 megs.
I think I know which project you might be talking about. I've been seeing that recently.
Yeah. So somebody, but I couldn't reply saying no, that's not correct because I don't know. But maybe if I knew some users are using it, I could have the try. Yeah.
I have definitely run K3s on 1 gig of RAM. 512 is a bit low even for my standards.
Okay. Yeah. And but what Julian was saying, maybe in super edge, small footprint. I don't know. Oh, we're over the time now. It was great talking to you, Alex, Julian. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, thank you very much for hosting today.
You're welcome. Talk to you next time.
Yeah, of course. If there's anything like related to what we've discussed, you can ping me on the Slack or anything like that.
Okay. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Manuel.
Bye. Have a great day. Ciao.
Bye. You too.